Talking about the gimmick and obviously the mask and how that took off. I mean, for most of that, I definitely agree. I mean, one of the things is there are so many talented DJs and producers, and if you're doing that, you are throwing yourself into a river full of these, aren't you? There's hundreds of thousands of people you've got to compete with, and it almost does seem to a fact that if you can stand above the rest, not losing any talent, of course, but standing with obviously something like the gimmick. I mean, for example, something I started in 2010 when I first, like I say, I was 5 years into DJing drum and bass. I'd had a successful hardcore career, and in drum and bass, I was just fucking getting nowhere because there were so many of me around. There were so many of me. But as soon as I thought, okay, I'm going to be a DJ versus beatboxer show, and I brought a beatboxer in, I brought a drummer in, and suddenly I was touring the world. I was traveling all around the world to countries because I had something that extra to give. I mean, do you feel with a gimmick, do you think there's a line you shouldn't cross? Do you think there's something you should be doing to kind of keep that authenticity? Or do you think that people should just go out and just try and find something different no matter what it is?
I mean, I think if you're just, you know, who was it that said it? I think it was Beyonce. I saw this phrase somewhere, and I think it was like credited to Beyonce. Everyone's trying to be different, so I'm going to do the same. You know, I mean, at some point, if you're just trying to be different for the hell of being different, and if it has no meaning to you, if there's no story behind it, if you have no real connection to it, nah.
It's got to feel good.
I don't wear this mask just because it is a gimmick. I purposely created this. Like there was a vision in it. Like it's not like, oh, I need something to bring some attention. I knew it was going to bring some attention, but I knew it was going to be good for marketing. But there was still an intention behind it. I think that's the key word, which also applies to, you know, going back to the whole like getting music licensed and games and stuff. When you do everything with intention, people tell. That's the thing. It happens everywhere. It happens in every kind of business. You know, it applies to art, applies to everyday life. If you do something with intention, people can tell, and people, I think, gravitate towards that. That's not just, I mean, of course, yes, there's no shortage of how to say empty musical calories, so to say. Like there's a lot of ear candy out there that doesn't really mean anything. Sometimes maybe you need to use a little bit of that to your advantage. The same way, for example, Marilyn Manson did it. I think Marilyn Manson did it in a genius way because he took it and he was sort of like making a joke around it, while still having such a powerful message.
Well, let me give you an example as well. So if we take two dance music artists, so let's take Deadmau5, for example. Now, this gimmick and this, I mean, amazing producer, but the gimmick is quite well respected. What he's done is he's taken the idea and it's transformed into all these things where the light show is involved with his hat and his helmet. And oh my God, I mean, it's one of the most amazing ideas in dance music ever. It's brilliant. But then you compare that to, let's look at the artist Marshmello. Now, there is a lot of hate for Marshmello and what it is. It almost looks like a manufactured Kellogg's cornflakes style thing. But behind that mask is an absolutely exceptional producer as well. So with these differences, I mean, what do you see with those? Where do you see that maybe Marshmello's going wrong, but Deadmau5 is going right?
I don't think either is going right or wrong, really. I just think people are going to talk no matter what. I'm pretty sure, like, Deadmau5 is no stranger to hate.
I'm just blaming it on like the reverence you see online. You see a lot of hate for Marshmello, but not really for Deadmau5. I mean, they both get hate and they both get praise, but in those amounts, it's almost like that one's unrespected and that one isn't. That's just how it seems when you look at it.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of like the same way bullying works in school. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know why a specific person is being bullied. There's I mean, maybe you can think of some reasons, but at the same time, it's just, man, people always need someone to bully. Sadly, it's very sad that this is the way it is. And there's just, you know, they find something and they take all their anger against it. You know, imagine, I mean, I personally also, like, my first reaction was like, what is this marshmallow? It's like candy. I wasn't a big fan of the name. I wasn't a big fan of the mask. It just didn't relate to it. But you know what? I find it completely valid that there's a project out there that's trying to make the world a kinder and better place. I think that's valid. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that was the thing. I think, I don't know, people will think, oh, that's gay or whatever, like it was, something wrong. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Sometimes especially since dance music attracts a lot of men, as you mentioned, there's just not enough maybe testosterone there.
Yeah.
But sometimes maybe we don't need that all the time. Maybe sometimes we need some dead mouses, we need some marshmallows, we need some cannibal corpses, we need some Lady Gagas, we need a bit of everything. It
all invokes a reaction, doesn't it? And I guess that's where it's all going, isn't it, at the end of the day? I mean, like I said, for the long and the short of it, Behind the Mask Marshmallow is I don't really like his music, but I can tell he's an amazing producer. Do you know what I mean? I can tell what he does, I can hear what he does, and it's almost like one of those artists you wish you had, maybe creating the music that you love as well. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know how far that mask thing would actually get with the happiness, like you said, around it in drum and bass, because for the most of it, it does have that kind of crowd, doesn't it, that would probably not attach themselves to that in a way, I suppose.
I don't think drum and bass is generally friendly to masks anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so funny. Like there was I think Matrix did a tweet that said something like, it's really interesting that EDM seems to have a lot of masks, but that never really happened in drum and bass. I wonder why. And then someone replies to him and mentions me and says, DJ Zardonic would like your address.
I've got a better caption for that. Hold my drink, and then just a picture of you there you go. Hold my beer. That's the caption I was looking for. Hold my beer.
Something like that. But I was really happy to see that, because when somebody says that, it's like, hey, if you want to look at a mask wearing artist in drum and bass, like that's the guy. I'm like, yeah, I did it before it was cool.
There's a lot of them in Gabba as well, isn't there? Like the Satanist and things like that. There's a lot of mask wearers in Gabba and Speaker, just on the harder end of it, and maybe down towards the crossbreed stuff as well. So you're gonna find them, I think, in every style, but very different ends of the spectrum there, isn't it? Satanist in obviously Slipknot as well. There's a big one, obviously, for the rock, the mass, obviously. So it is loved in certain circumstances, but like you said, it might be the testosterone thing that we're talking about as well when it comes to
I think it just comes with, when I see this, especially here's the deal. I cannot sell something I wouldn't buy. I don't go to raves. I don't go to raves to see DJs. It's the most boring thing for me. I'll just see how good that DJ set is. Unless it's like something that has really inspired me or like maybe marked an era for me, I'm like, whatever. It's just not. I know that I'm shooting myself in the foot here because I'm a DJ. I'm aware, but it's just not something to me. It's almost like, working in gastronomy and then having someone invite you to have dinner in a restaurant. You're not gonna enjoy it. You're just going to always look at all the details on how this has maybe too much or too little salt or whatever the hell, So to me, it's actually hard to enjoy going to a rave anymore because this is a job for me. And actually, also after having permanent tinnitus and going at it too long, I'm just like, the best music I can listen to right now is just silence. And I'm so happy when I'm just working in silence at home, or working maybe with sounds with something that's not. I don't even play music that loud anymore.
No.
So in that aspect, it's something difficult for me. So I'm not able to see something unless I feel I am paying for a show. And I realize that I'm not putting together like a huge show anyway, because it's just a one-man show. But I figured at least have something that people can look at and they can get a reaction from them. You know what I'm saying? And that to me is one of the bigger reasons why I'm wearing the mask as well.
Yeah. What's up, everyone? Lee UHF here, the host of DNB Wraps. Thank you for watching our videos. If you like what you're hearing and seeing on the channel, please make sure you're subscribing to it. Please make sure you thumbs up the videos, and more importantly, let's get some comments going as well. It really helps the channel, and in order for us to provide this content to you, we do need the channel to grow. So we can't do this without your help. Hope you enjoy the video. Speak to you soon.